Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 16th, 2021, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a reverse aging call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have one absolute highest of the highest high gifts that any of us can give. Nothing compares to it. And we all have it available 24/7. And that gift is love. So, if you were to choose to be extra generous with your love today, let your heart open and embrace each being you meet. Your love is like all of us, a cozy blanket that warms and melts away the cold illusions in this world. And our love is what ignites the spark that enlightens every single one of us, whoever we meet, and who meets us. And in that moment, when we are shifted into the heart-mind, and we know that we are pure, deep, eternal love, all suffering instantly ceases in the presence of your love. It is always. It is at the very core of our existence, our being. So that's why, to be mindful of the fact that you do not become seduced by your ego mind so often that you're literally yanked away from the love that you are. So that you can be automatic with the love that you are. And that's where this planet, this civilization is evolving to. This is the higher vibrational frequencies. I have had people ask me, where does God live? And serious question, not a joke. Where does God live? And the answer, and you can answer it, but it all ends up the same answer. God lives at the center of your soul. Do not delude yourself by imagining your source to be some God outside you. Do not delude yourself by imagining your source to be some God outside of you. Your source is within yourself. Give yourself up to it. Seek the source within and merge with it. Ramana Maharishi. That's really good advice. We all live in a world that constantly ignores the fact that a supreme, divine, all-loving intelligence lives within each and every single one of us. We've all been programmed to believe we are spiritually disconnected and must fix our broken selves to feel whole and reconnected again. Yet we don't realize it. We don't realize it, that we are just used to the feeling, to feeling spiritually numb. And as we've been plagued every day of our lives by an overly materialistic society which is constantly seducing us with its glorified billion-dollar hypnotic media programming, we have contracted a deep case of spiritual amnesia and have forgotten how to relax into our spiritual essence and find our own intimate connection with the divine. And I think we all know this, that this everyday ignorance of our spiritual nature is the absolute greatest lie mankind is living today. It is the cause of every moment of suffering each of us is currently enduring. Each human being. Now, you might think that this spiritual drought was created by mankind coincidentally and is not part of the grand divine design. Now, we all know that the word coincidence, okay, really doesn't exist. It is a way, it's a word used to explain away things that we don't understand. Nothing is by coincidence or without purpose in this universe. Everything is finitely engineered without any flaws. And this blind ignorance within us all on purpose, so that we move more passionately towards a state of awakening. And these are intense levels of disconnection, and they only drive us deeper inside ourselves to find our own soul. This lifetime, the one we're in right now, that we have, this life, the now, we have it's meant to be a deeply enlightening experience. Is there anything more important than knowing how to access our own direct personal connection to an all-powerful, deep, eternal, loving source of highly intelligent creative energy that has the magical power to manifest anything your heart desires? There is nothing more vital to finding happiness in this life than knowing one's spiritual connection, and nothing more exciting than a proven way to access it, which works every single time. No matter how deeply stuck you feel about your financial situation, relationships, health, sex life, and future, there is always a way to reach freedom. If you wish to gain a greater spiritual perspective in this life, it's up to each of us to choose, to make the choice once and for all, to clarify our personal relationship with the divine. You can see just how far you've come on your spiritual journey by taking the risk to answer these following challenging questions. And this is only with you, not with anybody else. Remember, it's all about you. If it isn't all about you, how are you going to be with anybody else? You must first discover yourself and the God within you. And here's these questions you ask yourself. What is stopping you from always being in communion with God? Always being in communion with God. And I emphasize, this is totally on the opposite side of the tracks when you start talking religion. This is completely separate from religion. What is stopping you from always being in communion with God? Ask yourself that. Always being in communion with God. What exactly is your relationship with God like right now? What exactly is your relationship with God like right now? And what does it feel like when you are having a truly intimate connection with God? What does it feel like? How often do you recognize and connect with the divine aspects of yourself? How often do you recognize and connect with the divine aspects of yourself? How is your life different when living with this connection versus without it? How is your life different when living with this connection versus living without it? Now, the longer that you choose to sit with these questions and feel into your answers, the deeper you'll dig into your soul and eventually discover your spiritual connection. It's not a magic act. We all can choose to do this. It is never too late to try and connect. I've had people say, "Oh, it's too late for me. I can't. I can't do that. I can't connect to my do that stuff. Maybe when I was younger." Never too late. Even if you have ignored it for 75 years of your life on a gluttonous, frivolous, mindless activities, feeling perpetually lost in a superficial life, it doesn't matter. The God source is still there. The door to divine has always been open. And God is waiting for you to come in. And when you take one step towards God, God will take 10 steps towards you. So you choose to make time to redefine your relationship with the divine. And I can guarantee that your precious time will not be wasted. I don't believe anything's wasted. It's all an experience. And you're always first looking into your heart rather than your head. We all know this. I mean, it's not a secret for any of us. The head is so full of ideas about what God is and what God is not. The head misses the real experience, feeling, and quality of godliness. When the mind is quiet, still, and single, pointed into the now, we can instantly find that deeply alive spiritual feeling inside. The God source already exists right in this now, within the heart, at the core of our soul. You imagine when that finally, because people will say, I know that. Shoot, I've known that for years. But to really know it through the heart, with the God, is a whole different ballgame. And as we relax into this place, a timeless, deep, eternal love, conscious energy sneaks into us and relaxes every cell and fiber of our very being. And you may think that God is the most mysterious thing in the universe, perhaps because it is the universe. God exists in everyone and everything, and including those people you think are deeply disconnected. Have you ever wondered, how can such an amazing presence be so spatially close to us and still be so difficult to feel and see. It's like trying to look into your own eyes without a mirror. We look out at this life through these tiny black holes in our eyes, taking them for granted and not realizing they exist at all because they are so close to us. When something is too close to us, we are often unaware how precious it is. The same applies to noticing God. We are unaware of God until we take a step back and look deeper into our own reflection and the great mirror that is all around us. Realization of the self is realization of God. It is not an experience of God. Rather, it is an understanding that one is God. Ramana Maharishi. When you finally understand that you are God, this is a self-realization. And it's a direct relationship with the divine. Now, some people think that they have to travel through life year after year after year, spend tens and 20s of years to, interact with gurus and live and with groups and, maybe finally find it. When all along it's been within you and always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. God is an isness rather than an it. And God is more like a mysterious infinite energy than some fixed stagnant entity. The great isness is instantly found when we stop and feel into this eternal quality, which feels like we are always and forever here now. The isness is our infinite nature. And this can only be experienced when we are living fully in the now. It can only be experienced when we are living fully in the now, exploring life from a relaxed, trusting connection. The divine isness is the most accepting, healing, forgiving energy one could imagine. The isness is the source of deep eternal love, which when even momentarily welcomed, we instantly feel that most profound ecstatic joy inside our hearts. And it's the knowing that we are eternal spiritual beings moves through us throughout the day, like a healing river of eternal liquid love. The very second we surrender our hearts to just the idea of an extremely loving isness, we immediately find real peace, a sense of bliss, and a feeling of real satisfaction that cannot be compared. Knowing this isness is our basic nature. We start radiating like the sun, and we start shining our own spiritual essence into everyone in our lives. The only reason we may not feel, believe, and know that God is right here within the very center of our body, soul, and heart right now is because of one thing blocking the way. And that is our overly busy, demanding, controlling, and desiring mind. As long as the mind is wanting something, willing something, thinking it is lacking something, trying to reach a better place other than the great isness that's here now, we will easily miss our spiritual path. We will find ourselves living in thoughts about God instead of experiencing the real divinity. If we get lost in the head, we might end up walking into some highly intellectual, materialistic, and spiritually dry future. The God source is absolutely, infinitely complex, yet deeply simple. And it really is, in all actuality, quite easy to experience. But the little trick is learning what it takes to fully be here now. To feel the divine isness, we must first begin feeling whatever is up for us in this moment. We must choose to explore how we can let go of the mind and open ourselves up emotionally, feeling everything that is here now. When we call off the mental search looking for God out there and simply feel into the core essence of our being, we find that we have been the ones who were hiding and protecting ourselves from the divine. God has always been here, is always here, always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And simply feel into the core essence of our being. Feel it. And it's always radiating with it. The isness is always radiating within every atom in existence. As we drop deeper beneath the thinking mind and through our blocked emotions, we discover the greatest source of peace, silence, and stillness. This is where God abides. And that is at your very center core. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. Leave the mind. Enter the heart. To know that you are the God. That's what that means. You be still. Leave the mind. When you leave the mind, you still the mind. You're in the now. So when you are still, you will know that you are God. And perhaps the most radical truth, there's many, but one of them is that you can discover that this human existence is this. We humans are either existing in some form of suffering or living in some form of bliss. There's really nothing in between. We are either in one or the other. We are either living up in our head or we are in the heart of God. And once we quiet the mind and open our heart together, we can live a balanced life in both realms of head and heart. Doing this, we then start merging with the infinite mind of God. When we can remain in this balance 24 hours a day, we will master this lifetime. Then every thought we think manifests into forming our living reality. We move energy into form. We create it into reality. We manifest. By living in constant emotional connection with the divine from our very core, we become a living, blissful, breathing manifestation machine, perpetually creating every beautiful idea we feel and focus upon. There are not many things, and I think we all know this, guaranteed in this life. Yet one thing that is 100% guaranteed is this. At some point, you are going to return to God. It will happen either when your body is still alive or when your body stops breathing. Eventually, you'll feel intimately connected with God again. So there's really nothing to worry about when or how, because those are expectations, and that's our road to suffering. All roads lead back to God. The path ahead and the past behind you both lead back to God. God is unavoidable because our past and future are just mental concepts which only exist within this living present moment. The mind alone is always blind to the divine. It is only with a quiet, surrendered mind that we may access an open, receptive heart which can see God in everyone and everything. The mind just doesn't want to realize how ignorant it actually is. It doesn't want to see how powerless, unfulfilled, and trapped it is, as this would cause a huge embarrassment to the ego. When we spiritually wake up, and we will, the mind realizes its petty search in the outer world to find everlasting satisfaction is spiritually fruitless. Only when the mind surrenders to God do we discover what absolute bliss feels like. Otherwise, the mind will continue to persist in its addictive habits of seeking fulfillment in the outer world. It will ignore seeing how true bliss is available here, now, as it needs to continue its addictive search for years, decades, lifetimes. The mind is always trying to get its desires met by people, food, substances, money, ideas, and is in the habit of constantly yearning for something. Yet, as we all know, once the mind gets what it wants, it is happy for a short while. Then it's back on the hamster wheel again, searching for fulfillment again and again and again. The mind is deeply unaware that it can never, ever be truly satisfied. It's good to know that whatever happens in this life, for each and every one of us, there are no real mistakes. God is an infinitely positive creative energy, and this force, this fierce force, does not know what a mistake is. Every mistake that we perceive to be real or true is simply the mind forming another judgment. There is universal right or wrong book. There is only deeper shades of truth in which each higher layer only reveals a lighter perspective on our enlightening mission. We are here to learn. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing, imperative for all of us, is to relax the body. And I don't mean superficially. I don't mean where the ego mind comes in, oh, you're just so relaxed. I mean, where you go through your heart, connect with the God that you are within, and just relax the body. Let it go. Let just all the stuff that we're like these hyper super magnets, and we attract it. And of course, you've got the mind and ego working overtime. And we move energy into form, we create it in reality. So worries, stresses, fears, anxieties, hurriedness, wanting, having, all of it. Dismiss it. When you walk through these things, when you walk through them, you find that they are a mere illusion. And so the whole time you've been running from them because you actually believe they're physical. You finally turn and you walk towards them. And when you walk towards them, and then when you get to where you believe they are solid, you walk through them. They're all illusions that you created for you through the mind and the ego. So that body that you're in relaxes. And you see, when you relax the body, you move into the now. And the now is really all we have. It is so powerful that it stills the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind. It stills them. It's almost like they're frozen. And you step outside of them, and you immediately walk in through the door that's your core, where the God is. Be still and know that I am God. That's been misinterpreted many times. Be still, move into the now. And when you move into the now, you will then know that you are God. Some of us, I'd say all of us reminisce. We have memories. And we embrace the memories. We have a good time with them. Some of them are phenomenal. Others, aren't so good. And, we embrace them, and we reminisce, and it's fun. But we don't sit all day doing that. We move on. And some of us, though, we'll go into that dead path, and elephant graveyard, carcasses and bones, and it's all foggy and misty and dusty, and you're sitting back there, but you stay there so long that you end up bringing that past, which is dead, into a future that doesn't exist. You create that future from that past, and you relive that past and that future. That's not too fun. I'm not saying that people consciously are aware of this. It's just kind of a habit. This is why they find themselves questioning themselves at times in their lives by saying, it seems like no matter what I do, I always end up here. That's why. And some of us will move it, we kind of go into the future that doesn't exist because, there's just certain things that the ego mind pulls us at. I want to know this, and I want to know that, and when is this going to happen for me, and when is that going to happen for me, and that gets us miscombobulated. It almost bamboozles us into believing, what's this going to be like? Oh, I'm going to have this, and that's where the mind is temporarily happy when you do receive certain things. But you ever notice? Doesn't last, does it? and we're right back to trying to find something that's going to make us happy again. It's endless. So the now is golden. But how do you stay in the now? Because remember, we still have thoughts. I mean, they're running by, clouds in the sky. And sometimes we just kind of, we just put our arms around one. It just kind of takes us off. You ever been focused on something? You're working on something, and all of a sudden you wander off on thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you imagine when you're consciously aware of this, and you say, okay, I've wandered out of the now, so I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be back in the now. And you will, 3,000%, every single time. When you focus on your breath, you'll be back into the now. You won't be outside of it in a future that hasn't been created, in the past that's dead. And you are a spectator. You're watching your body, you're watching your mind ego with the God that you are. So you're not judging, you're learning. You're watching how the ego and the mind work, and the subconscious mind. It's better to do this so you know how to guide them rather than them guiding you. So your breath is divine positive energy. We take it for granted because it's with us all the time. And that's it, see? We just don't think about that until something happens and we have to think about it. But the breath is divine positive energy. It focuses us, relaxes us, eases us, calms us, strengthens us, centers us. And we look at the body and we see that going through the center of our bodies, from the tip of the tailbone all the way to the top of the head, are these beautiful, vibrantly, misty, bright, colored wheels of light. And these are called the chakras. And they're connected etherically to our physical forms, our emotions, our organs, all of our biological functions, all of it. They're like the spiritual management team of these physical bodies. They're there. Why are they there? Because the God is within us. That's why. And we notice there's an energy running through them. And we watch it as it goes up, and it comes up over the head, and then it moves back down around, up through the tailbone, back up again, and it's perpetual. It's like a fountain of energy. And we take our divine positive energy and we join this energy, which is our God force, love light energy. It is the breath of God. It's the very pulse of God. And so when we do this, and we look at these colored wheels of light that we're moving this through, we see this beautiful, vibrantly red wheel of light. And this is our root chakra, Muladhara. This is our survival in this life. This is our career, money, mindset, sense of belonging, financial independence, food. It's our physical association with this Muladhara is the spine, rectum, legs, arms, and circulatory system. Whenever one of these is out of place in your body, you're going to have issues on the organs or the emotions it's connected to. Every single time. Now, the root chakra, our survival, is blocked by fear. And we move to the orange wheel of light. This is the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. And this is our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. It's our sexuality and pleasure. And this is our emotional issues of this, a sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, sexuality. And it's connected to our reproductive organs, kidneys, bowels, immune system. And what is it blocked by? Guilt. Haven't you ever, haven't you been, we've all experienced this. None of us are exempt. Having a good time, enjoying things are just falling into place for you, and you just feel absolutely blissful. But then all of a sudden, a feeling comes over you, and it's almost like subtle at first, and then you start thinking about it, and then this guilt comes in, and you start going, I shouldn't be having this good of a time. It's not going to last. Eventually, it's going to end. What do you think that is? That's the ego mind. It only ends because you believe it will end. Because that's your natural state of being, that bliss, that joy. And that's the guilt. Then we move to the yellow, golden wheel of light. The solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. This is our personal power. This is our ability to channel. It's to be confident through the heart, through the God, and in the flow of our lives. This is our self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. It's the central nervous system, the pancreas, liver, digestive tract, and skin. Then we move to and what's blocking it? What blocks it? Shame. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light. The heart chakra, the anahata. Love. This is our ability to love. Relationships and self-acceptance. Joy, inner peace. Obviously, it's connected to our heart, thymus, lower lung, circulatory system, immune system. And what is it blocked by? Grief. And we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra. This is the Vishuddha, self-expression. It's our ability to communicate. It's our expression of feelings, the truth. Our physical association of thyroid, respiratory system, teeth, and vocal cords. What blocks it? What is it that blocks it? Lies block it. And we move to the indigo wheel of light, the ajna. This is our third eye chakra. It is our ability to focus on and see the big picture. It's connected in our emotional energies of intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions. And our physical associations, pituitary gland, eyes, and sinuses. And what blocks it? Illusion. Then we move to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara, connection to the divine. It's the highest chakra. It's our ability to be fully connected spiritually. It also, in our emotional energies, inner and outer beauty, our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. And our physical association is pineal gland, brain, nervous system. And what blocks it? What blocks it? Ego attachment. That's what blocks it. So we follow these energies all the way to the top of our heads. But remember, we've stilled the mind and the ego because we're in the now. And so we've stepped out of it. We've stepped out of the mind and the ego. and these bodies that we're in. We are consciously aware that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. In our soul, our higher self, our spirit, the God, pure consciousness. Ego mind, heart mind, all one. And we, each of us, is heaven on earth. The God source, the soul within us, is the heaven. The body is the earth. We are literally heaven on earth. And every step we take, we create paradise. Literally. Whether you're consciously aware or not, but at this stage, you're consciously aware. And we shine our God force, love, light, energy outward. So as we, the God within us, all of us is one, creating paradise every step we take, shining our God force, love, light, energy on all things, everything and everything. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe is. All of our brothers and sisters, awake, asleep, doesn't matter. And we're doing this because we have discovered that we are love. And that's our natural state of being. So if you were to look at this planet right now, in this meditation, through your heart, mind's motion pictures, you would see a planet with billions of gods, consciously aware, as one, creating paradise, heaven on this earth, glowing. A God paradise planet. And that is the transition, the transcendence of what is occurring right now with this planet and all of us, and all life, highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above it, and below it. And we're all part of the collective consciousness. Pieces of us. We're all part of each other. Mind and ego will try to convince you otherwise. And we learn from each other. So we reach out to other parts of ourselves, other parts of the God that are conscious. The ones that are asleep, we love. Those are the parts of us that are asleep. We love those parts of us deeply, eternally. So all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Many, many, many different civilizations. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming of this circle of light in the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of the light energy beings, all of those out there. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation. and the forming of the circle of light. And they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with no room to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from every direction, from trillions of universes. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. And we're talking about different species, different civilizations. And trillions travel throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Norse, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, of forming the circle of light. And they come into billions, and they're with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on in, above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, and the complete and full liberation of this planet into the higher and the higher and the higher of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace frequencies. Now, they are in the trillions, and they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen. As a matter of fact, we only see 1% of what is. The ones that we're familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the trees, the trolls, the dwarves, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, wood, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. Arm in arm, hand in hand, all gathered. Hundreds of millions of us on planet North in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light. This circle of light, it emanates from our very core being, the God. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of space, sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even come close to its brilliance. All of us gathered, including the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. And the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But they're there, and we meet with them a lot. We just don't recognize it, usually till after we've met with them. And then we realize it was an angel. And a little bit of bliss inside of us bubbles to the surface. And they all send the same message, but meant and sent in different ways. It's absolutely magniglorious to be alive in these bodies. Now, a large number can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands at any time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can carry a large number in a small area. We, all of us, have ascended into physical form to master physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation, and then eventually understanding that we are the light. We are the God. So when we do decide to leave these bodies, you will not follow the light, because we are the light. We begin to ascend above this planet as a circle of light. We're flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe is. We're flooding all of our brothers and sisters, awake or asleep, all life, all the animals, everything, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. It's endless. It's constant. It is the love that we all are. It is the God that we all are. So we continue to ascend, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It's reflecting everywhere. Trillions of vibrantly colored lights reflecting everywhere. And when we look close at these reflections, they're endless mirrors, small faceted mirrors that are unending. And we find that we are all students and teachers with each other parts of ourselves, always learning, always teaching, whether consciously or unconsciously. Then we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we're the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds each and every one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with an eternal white fire armor. This emanates from our God source, the God within each and every one of us, the love within each and every one of us. It cannot be penetrated, harmed, invaded. You can have no attachments, no demon invasions, no voodoo whipping, nothing, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, period. You are protected 24/7 always. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, your hatred, anger, fear, greed, deception, manipulation, envy, worry, stress, fear, you'll create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow the lower vibrational, all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. If you do decide to do this, they will come flooding in. You're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, send them to pure consciousness where they are gone permanently. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can purify, cleanse the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies once were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies of deep, pure, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We're then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we are the sun, that we are the sunlight, that we are the sunsets and the sunrises, that we are the rain and the rainbows, that we are the clouds and the sky, that we are the trees and the forest, that we are all animals, soils, that we are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, everything. So the next time that you see a sunset, a sunrise, a rainbow, and you're in awe of its beauty and grandeur, you're in awe of you, of the divine perfection that is within you, the God, the source, the love. We continue to ascend above this planet. As we do, we come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. Some of us step outside our physical forms and hover above them effortlessly if we're carrying physical form. We created this column. In the center of this column is a massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a bowl of golden white sparkling light, and it's surrounded by numerous rings of beautiful colored, vibrant lights. It's all shimmering. It's all glittering and reflecting. And it's all sending waves through us all, saturating and penetrating us all head to toe, inside and out. And the golden yellow bowl of white light is love, pure, deep, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, well-being,
great wealth. And we find out, we discover that it is us. All of it. It is our natural state of being. And at the top of this column, we created so it can allow the golden ocean to come cascading down 360 degrees eternally, as it's doing right now, flooding all of us, head to toe, inside and out, with pure, deep, eternal love. All of us are drops of that golden ocean. We hold the essence of the golden ocean. The ocean is the drops, and the drops are the ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds over 1,300 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Think about that. Feel it through the heart-mind. The highest of the highest high intents from hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, of deep, pure, eternal love and gratitude and peace. And we are being flooded by it 24/7, always. Imagine that. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify, and this is why it continues to expand. Feel that energy, that frequency that you are. For you'll discover, each of us will discover, that you are the God. You always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. You are the love. You are the gratitude. It is you. It is each and every single one of us. And to be with the God within 24/7, your suffering, your anxiety, your fears, your pains will be forever vaporized. I'll join you in meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Do not delude yourself by imagining your source to be some God outside you. Your source is within yourself. Give yourself up to it. Seek the source within and merge with it. And be still and know that I am God. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning. And we will return here Saturday, April 17th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. And tonight at 9 p.m.